Okay, Dashell Rose here back with another review. This time I'm going to be reviewing SpongeBob. Now again, I'm only doing one episode. I decided I'm going to do one for each season. I'm going to pick a bad episode from each season and I'm going to review it. I may do a good episode too, but I kind of want to save that for a seasonal review. But anywho, after dealing with Modern Family Guy and how bad it sucks, I'm glad to go back to SpongeBob again. SpongeBob has gotten bad, but it has gotten better too, so that's good. Anywho, this is the episode I Was a Teenage Gary. Basically, what I'm gonna start doing too is I'm gonna start scoring like points for each episode, and that's what I'm gonna be doing. So like 39 is bad, 40 through 60 is meh, 69 is meh, and 70 into 100 is good. Now, let me talk about this episode here. A lot of people hate it, some people like it. What are my thoughts on it? Actually, I kind of like the episode. Except for the ending, but I'll get to that in a second. I think it's basically a sister episode to Scaredy Pants. It's a sister episode to that. That was a Halloween episode, which SpongeBob hasn't really tackled again. I mean, they did that in season 11, but I don't know. Season 1 also has different animation than the rest of the seasons too. I actually like it. I can't decide if season 1 or season 4 has better animation. I probably would say season 1, because it has that cell animation. It looks really nice. Cartoons don't really do that anymore though, so. But yeah, basically, it's about SpongeBob. Well, it starts off with SpongeBob playing with his pet, and then Patrick comes in. Patrick comes into the episode and talks about how there's a jellyfish convention. Now, some think that my biggest fantasy, my biggest fanatic, which is in season 2, I think, is part of this episode. Because SpongeBob and Patrick both go to a jellyfish convention in that episode. So I don't know if that's true or not, but basically they do the same thing in this episode. Some people might compare it to that, but basically what happens is SpongeBob doesn't have anybody to watch Gary, so he has Squidward do it. And Squidward does a pretty horrible job. No wonder why Gary hates Squidward in later episodes. Yeah, spoiler alert, Gary has a really bad hatred for Squidward in later episodes, but because he basically starved Gary for like 3 days straight. But yeah, the main plot is that you can see here. When he comes back, SpongeBob gets injected by the snail plasma and turns into a snail. I couldn't figure out what picture to pick for this, but yeah, he turns into a snail, and basically, I think this episode is definitely good, though. Because it does a very good job at being a horror-like-ish episode. Now, I think this may be based off a horror movie. I don't like horror movies, so in my opinion, those are automatically bad, in my opinion. But yeah, but yeah, I think they do a pretty good job here with that. Now, but SpongeBob turns into a snail, and here's where the stupid part comes in. Basically, he kind of harasses Squidward a bit, and Squidward is running around like a maniac, which is very unlike Squidward to do. You think Squidward would call Sandy or something, and have her help Keter, because we hardly seen Sandy do any science-related stuff in the pre-movie episodes. So seeing her come into this episode to work in an antidote for SpongeBob, that would make more sense, but no, he gets injected too. He gets injected too and becomes a snail as well. For some reason, he has a shell, though. SpongeBob only has his pants as his shell, which is really weird. I don't know why that is, but yeah, but right before you see he gets hit, apparently they throw in that detail, where his clarinet is like right in one of his portraits of his nose. That's exactly what happened to Squidward too, the same thing that happened to SpongeBob. So they were kind of hinting at you that Squidward got infected too, which again was not very that was really predictable, and yeah, the ending is basically they're just stuck as snails, and there's nothing that unique that happens at the end of it. Now, how will I grade this episode by points? Well, again, it does a really good job. A really good job at, capturing the horror-ish theme from its brother episode. But at the same time, the ending is kind of stupid, and I think I'm gonna give it a 93%. Well, points. I want to do 93 points. Now, I have done these points before, too. I've done them with the streaming services. I still have to tackle Netflix, but I have a lot of editing to do with that, and, because I'm going to tell the backstory of Netflix, and I don't want to just talk about it. I want to actually show pictures of it, so until I get the capture card working, I'm just going to start doing this. But yeah, this episode's going to get a 93 points. And that's pretty good for season 1. Usually most shows, season 1 usually starts off with some bad episodes. But this one actually is pretty good. Even though it has its flaws, it's pretty good. Probably the worst ending. I mean, there's also an Employee of the Month, which has a bad ending too, but not like this. This is just kind of stupid and confusing, but yeah, that's my review of SpongeBob. Well, I was a teenage Gary, so. Also notifying that I guess at the end, if you watch this on here on Paramount Plus, you can actually hear the themes, the end credit song. Well, you hear a different version of it for Halloween. I don't know why they didn't do that with the because in Who Bob What Pants, if it's the very first episode you watch on DVD or something, it'll play a certain theme song, like a different version of it. I don't know why they didn't do that and wait until the end credits on this, but I think if you get this episode, because you can get the Nick Picks on DVD and you get this episode with it, you can probably listen to the end credits on there. But anywho, tell me what your thoughts are on this, and hopefully in the future too, in a couple years from now, I can start reviewing every episode of SpongeBob season review like Pie Guy does. Right now, I'm still in the process of learning how to edit my videos and stuff, so that won't be happening. I'm also trying to figure out YouTube too. Apparently there's this child thing. I think I'm just gonna, for now on, make my videos, just set it for older kids, like older on it audiences. That way I have people commentate on it. Because for some reason kids can't commentate on kids' videos, which makes no sense, but I don't know. I mean, I guess YouTube may be trying something new too, I'm not really sure. Anywho, commentate, hit that like button, subscribe, and then thank you for the subs. I'm now at 38 subs. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. And let me know if you guys hate or like this episode. Please give me your true thoughts in the comments below. And anywho, Dash L Rose out.